to learn and be good at it, okay? So we're gonna go through the basics. Also, like so right now our best pitchers are also our best catchers, okay? In a given game, how many times will a catcher throw back to a pitcher? Probably 100, okay? While that's not a very far throw like that, that's 100 times. 100 times I'm making that movement, okay? It's easy as a coach to say, I got one really good catcher, I'm gonna ride him, he's good. What if he needs to pitch? Okay? My son's a perfect example of this. He didn't get to pitch much last year because he caught all the time. So my goal this year is to develop more catchers, okay? So if he's throwing 100 times back to the pitcher, and now we're asking him to pitch a game, you're cashed, okay? Coach Ryan can talk about pitchers and recovery after this, okay? So some of the basics that are really important, we start with our stances. So the first one is our sign-getting stance, okay? So Ben is going to have his heels right under his butt. His legs are going to, his squats are going to be parallel with the ground, okay? His chest is upright, okay? He is taking his forearm and putting it in the crease between his hip, between his stomach and his hip, all right? His glove is either on the side here or down here. The reason for that is coaches can see signs. So we want to have our glove down here. Okay, go ahead and do that again. We're going to want Ben to have his knees tight, okay, so people can't steal the signs. We tell them to take the crease of your palm and put it right on your cup, okay? So when he gives the sign, he's going to point the sign towards home plate, okay? All right, fastball, that looks good. The reason we point towards home plate is the pitcher is elevated at an angle down there, so it's easier for us to see, okay? And when he gets done, go ahead, give your sign again. Okay? After he gives the sign, he's going to make a fist before he pulls it out, so he does not relay the sign. Okay, so all we'll do is we'll actually have partners catchers face each other and give each other signs. Okay? Working on that. Okay? That's the sign getting stance. Okay? After that, we want to get into our relaxed stance. Okay, this is something that's really caught on in the last few years, and I love it. Is we will actually have our kids go down to one knee. Okay, so go ahead and get your sign giving stance. So he is given the sign, he's pulled out. Okay, what we try to teach our kids is to step out with the same foot every time. As they get older, you can kind of tip hitters if you move different directions. He kicks his left foot out to the side, okay? His knee's on the ground, his butt is close to the ground, this knee is out, okay? The reason we have the left knee down here is because what hitter is up? Right hitter, left hitter. Right, okay? So if I'm umpiring, right, okay, I'm gonna be right here, so we want this side to be lower, okay? And the hitter's gonna be here, okay? If we have a left-handed hitter, he's going to kick the other knee out, okay, and work here, all right? What this allows us to do is be lower and work up through the baseball, okay, all right? We also want to have a fairly big target for the pitcher, so when Ben gets into that position, okay, go ahead and get that position. His chest is still pretty upright, okay? We don't want him to lean completely over, okay? We tell our pitchers, aim small and miss small. Okay, find a place. You guys ever seen Braveheart? He teaches his kid how to shoot, aim small and miss small. If I'm looking at Ben's entire body and throw, that's a big area to miss. If I'm trying to hit Ben's Nike sign, I'm probably going to miss a little smaller than if I'm trying to hit his whole body. So you say, aim small, miss small. Okay? All right? Go ahead and get back. So now we call this our rabbit stance. The reason we call it a rabbit stance is you get older, you'll have other teams start doing bush league things like yelling runner when people don't know. So we yell rabbit with some skills. So this is our rabbit stance. So instead of being down on a knee, now we're going to be up, okay, where our feet are wider, okay? We still want our toes pointing towards the pitcher, okay? All right? A lot of people will teach their kids to be set like this. So really hard to get to a pitch over here if I have to block it. So we want our toes pointing forward. Okay, our legs are below the ground now. Now he's just leaning slightly forward. Okay, the weight is going through his insteps of his feet. Okay, his throwing hand is behind his hip, okay, or behind his glove. I caught forever. Everybody told me to have my hand behind my glove. I hated that. I was so uncomfortable with that. So I always put it back here. Okay. The point of it here is you're quicker on your transition. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but that's the point behind it. So go ahead and get there into your receiving stance or rabbit stance. Okay. All right. His target's got a big target. His hands behind his hip. Okay. Those are our stances. Okay. Let's work on catching the baseball quick. Okay. Take it off. Anytime we catch a baseball, whether it's actually at first base or second base or catcher, we want our thumb to be underneath our elbow. So if I'm playing first base and I got a ball coming at me here, I want to get my thumb under my elbow. Now, obviously, if I have to come here, the higher you get, the higher your thumb goes. If it's low, I'm going to go down like this. Okay? When we catch the baseball as a catcher, we want our thumb pointing to the ground as much as we can with our elbow, okay, above our thumb. Okay? We always want to start outside the zone and work into the zone. Okay? So on a low pitch, Ben's going to start with his thumb on the ground, and he wants to catch it, kind of like as an infielder, like this, catch it as it meshes with the glove, as he kind of catches it. Okay? So on a low pitch, he's going to work down and up. Okay? On a higher pitch, he's got to get above it and try to work down. On an inside pitch, he's got to get his elbow out so his thumb can get inside. Okay? On an outside pitch, to me, these are the two hardest pitches to catch. This one is hard to get to here. This one is hard to be strong without your elbow getting to this. Okay? So we always want to work back through it. And we'll do a drill like this. Okay, I'll show him the ball. Okay? Put it on the ground. Okay? We're just trying to get him to work outside and inside. Okay? Good. Look hard. Push it in. Good. Good. Now see how he's working out to in? It's not a huge movement. You'll actually watch a major league game, and they're moving their gloves all over the place. Okay? We want to get that movement because we're not as good athletes yet. You have to have shorter, smaller movements. Okay? Blocking. I'll just go through this really quick, basic. Okay? The biggest thing we want to teach for blocking in baseball, this is one of those things that like kids can do it or they can't initially. A lot of kids are scared of it, okay? So we do it without anything traveling at them. So if Ben were to have shit guards on, and kind of put it on here, he's gonna start with his glove off, okay? What he wants to feel is this glove leading him to where he wants to go, okay? So he's gonna start, we call this the U drill, with his hands like this in his hands, okay? All he's going to do is put his hands outside the ball and bring his knees with it. Okay? We're trying to gain ground. Okay? We're trying to take our glove there first. Okay? Coach Plunder, who I think is one of the greatest coaches on the planet, he taught for a while his feet kicking back. Okay? So instead of going to it, we're kicking our feet back and going straight down. The reason I don't like that is by coming forward now, you're shortening the angle of the hop, right? So you're shortening the mistake, okay, or the path of least resistance. If I kick back, now that ball's got that much more to do differently. So that's why we always go to the ball. So then he'll put his glove on, okay? Do the same thing. Okay, good. All right. Now when we block, we tell him, okay? So take your nuggets to the glove, put the glove down, take your nuggets right to it. Go ahead. Okay? We want to drive our nuggets right to the ball. Okay? Alright? We want our chin buried so that we don't get hit in the throat, okay? And we want to be leaned over, okay? The shorter the hop, the more you want to be lean, the higher the hop, the more you want to be back, and that's going to be advanced. Right now, we just want you to feel it. Bringing the knees down and stopping the ball, okay? Any questions on that? Throwing, tell them to be a shortstop. Like, I think we spend way too much time on catchers throwing. Like, I want them to move just like a shortstop, right? Just, okay, in step, okay, quick step, in step, just like a shortstop would, okay? To me, it's not that difficult for me, okay? One little trick for teaching the steal, right, in your stance. When we yell rabbit, we actually will tell them to tuck. We'll tell them to tuck this knee down. Okay, so Ben, what does that make you want to do? Come forward, right? So that's a little tip you can give them. We'll yell rabbit, and they have to tuck, and then we'll toss to get them to feel their momentum going forward to throw. Okay. Hitting and catching, I could talk for 3 days straight and still not be sick of talking about it. That's a general